Good evening, everybody. At this point, I'd like to start the Carver Conservation Commission meeting of Wednesday, January 19th, 2022. We've been allowed into the building, so we're getting a little late start. We are going to go right to our new hearings. We do have some requests for COCs. I'm going to just read through them quickly to see if anybody's here regarding them. If so, we can get to them right away. Is anyone here from 65 Crystal Lake Drive? Anyone here from 2 lots off Plymouth Street for COC? 13A Gate Street? Yes. All right. Let's do that then.
Gee, he looks familiar.
Yes. Okay, so this is the just shoestring.
Find your.
This is why I wanted to get here early. This is yours. I wanted to go through all this. Renewable Energy Development Partners, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So this is a request for a certificate of completion for 13A Gate Street, which is the solar array east of Gate Street, behind the cranberry bogs. We, the 3 members who are present here tonight, went out and did a site visit today. Everything looks exactly the way I thought it would when we first approved the plans. And it's really the first time that I've been up close and personal with a dual use solar, and it was quite impressive. You know, seeing the height of the panels and how much open space there is underneath it, and how easily it's going to be tended to. I think that what we need to do tonight is just vote on the COC with the conditions that there are going to be ongoing agricultural, not changes, but they're going to rotate crops and have different uses for the underneath. The eastern portion, I believe, is going to be used for grazing. Is that correct? For the most part?
Initially, yes.
Conditionally, yes. Initially, yes. And then on the western part, the southern part of the western part, at some point, after a couple of years of growing grasses and getting the soil, the remnants tilled into the soil, will be used for vegetables, and the other, and hay in the winter. Is that what?
Initially, yes.
Initially hay. Okay. So anyway, it is what dual use is about, being able to farm the land underneath it. So I was quite happy with what I saw today. It's what we hoped it would be.
Yeah.
So does anyone else have any comments on that? Okay, so I will entertain a motion to approve the COC for 13A Gate Street, DEP SC 126-567.
Also move.
All right, it's been moved. We have a second. All right. We do have a quorum. There are 3 of us here out of 5, so we do have a quorum tonight. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. We're approved 3-0. So we're good to go. You're very welcome. And we just have to sign this and put it back in.
Do you think we ought to call Brooke just to double check and see whether anybody did line up a secretary for tonight?
I texted her. I might have an answer. Okay, Ashley won't be here tonight.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
but she can look at
Yeah.
the TV
Right.
and write the minutes from that. So,
Which might wait faster too quickly.
okay. So we'll get back to the other COCs after we get to the hearings. Okay. New hearings. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, MGL, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public hearing will be held at 7:45. We're a little too early for this. I'm gonna change the order because by what the times are here that I have to do that. So I'm gonna start with 316 Tremont Street. I apologize for anyone who's here for Meadow Street, but I can't start the hearing before the time that it says here. So I'm gonna go with 316 Tremont Street, NOI DEP SE 126-635. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public hearing will be held at 7:15 p.m. on Wednesday, January 19th, 2022, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the notice of intent submitted on behalf of Timeless Stonework for the proposed construction of a new 7,320 square foot warehouse requiring the reconfiguration of the existing layout, septic, drainage, etc. The proposed work was within the 165-foot buffer to the adjacent wetland resource area. The applicant is requesting a variance from the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw for the work within the 65-foot buffer. The project is located at 316 Tremont Street, Carver, Massachusetts, map 127, lot 8. All interested parties are invited to attend.
Mr. Chairman, Stuart Clark with Greensill Environmental. I have the green cards.
Okay, I'll take them. I'll leave them with Brooke. Thank you very much.
One was delivered, or returned.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, the applicant has an existing business at 316. He does, the slabs for kitchens and stuff. And he would like to put in another building to house his slabs inside. This building here is going to be for storage only. He has an existing building, the exact same size on the lot. Our encroachment is right here, and the maximum encroachment into the 65 is about 3 feet. And the reason I had to do that was I wanted to keep 22 feet between the two buildings for fire access. Especially if you have to egress through the doors when they're both open, that's another 3 feet on each side. So I try to keep this open as much as I can. There's a cranberry bog down here, and that is the edge of the wetland. All the water that is on the site flows to the back of the site. There's a large retention infiltration basin here, and up here there's a smaller one. Not really sure how the water gets to that one. It looks like it remains dry. We're going to build this up just probably 4 to 6 inches in this area and pave it. We need to do that for handicapped access because at some point the applicant wants to take this front part of the building and make it into a showroom with some of his finished products. All the manufacturing will remain in the existing building. This will be for storage only at this point. He is going to stub out some bathrooms and put in a septic tank under the pavement, but he's not going to hook it up at this point because he has to enlarge his septic system for the additional flow when he does his showroom. We ran the parking calcs and the HydroCAD pre and post, and this is pretty sandy soil out there, as you know, in Carver, and this basin will function adequately. Currently, the hole where we're going to put the building is all, there's the asphalt grindings or gravel, so it's not really impervious, but it's not really pervious, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take all the roof runoff from this and pipe it back to the back basin, so that there won't be a local erosion off the roofs. I would entertain any questions you have. There's no habitat here, no flood zone, and the only resource area is the cranberry bog, which is 62 feet away.
All right, members of the board?
We walked it today.
Yes,
we
the
did-
three of us did.
Yeah, we did notice that our regulations require you to have more distance between the activities and the edges of the property. That 100-foot line that's marked in green on here
Yeah.
would normally be the closest that we would allow you to build in. So the fact that you're not only completely occupying that, but you're also going 3 feet over the 65-foot is kind of disconcerting to us.
Well, like I say, sir, this is already used and,
Yeah, it's used for storage on a open space here, but there are no buildings there,
That's
so on and so
correct.
forth. And, well, putting a building in there is kind of contrary to our regulations.
Dan, anything else?
Yeah, just to build off of Jim's point, there is quite a bit of square footage to the west
Mhm.
of the initial building as well. We were wondering why, or if it was possible to explore that space.
Right.
And also, looking at the way you've broken it down, 6,000 feet of the 6,000 foot warehouse, you've got 4,000, roughly, I calculate, but roughly 4,000 square feet in an area where our bylaws indicate that you would need a variance to build there. And, this is one of those, I think the term self-imposed is I think a term that we use to help illustrate our point, in that while we can't tell you what to do, we can suggest maybe exploring other creative options, because there is quite a bit of space on this property to maybe rethink
Right.
staying out of that 100. It's not, the problem is that while it being inside the 65 and you have a few feet inside the 65, that's a no-touch zone at all. The zone between the 65 and the 100 is one that requires a variance because there were no
That-
other options.
That's not true.
That's the
Well-
other way around, I think.
Yeah, the 65 is the variance, the 100 is our permission.
Right, but there has to be a reason other than,
It needs our permission.
yeah.
And if there are, I think that is there a particular reason why this building is not going behind the current one?
And I'll explain why. I brought that up with the client. Instead of putting it in this area, you're saying,
Yeah.
because he needs some storefront presence on Tremont Street for his showroom. And additionally, if he puts a showroom way back here, he's going to have to pave all the way to it so that he can get ADA accessibility. Those are the two reasons he wanted to put it in this area.
Well, I understand that reasoning. I don't know if that is enough of a valid reason to put a building 50% into an area that the state has determined can't be altered. I think that what we should probably do is tonight on this is continue this, and I would like to see if you could come up with some kind of variables. Is there any way that he could, in the future, put the showroom in the existing building and make, change the role of, make this a storage-only building in the back, and then either cut a chunk out of this to become the showroom, because you can pave here, it's not in any wetlands at all, and then you can.
Not in any wetlands, sir.
No,
Oh, you
no,
mean
if
the
you,
buffer.
if you were to make a showroom in front of the current
Mhm.
manufacturing building,
Right.
take the first 30
Over
feet,
here.
you could pave all the way to there without going into the wetlands at all.
Mhm.
And then you could leave what we saw today, where the outside slabs are now.
Mhm.
You could leave that as the semi-pervious, the stone, the compacted stone, but still, it's going to allow water to go through. And then put the storage building either at a 90-degree behind this one.
Right.
So I think that we should look at this a little bit more.
All right, well-
I just want to bring up a couple of
Yes, sir.
examples. There was a place in North Carver that wanted to build a second warehouse right across the street from Tractor Supply. And we asked them to do whatever they could to move their planned building outside of the 100-foot. And they did as much as they could, but they were pretty much locked in because most of the property was wet. We have a situation here where you have a lot of property that's not wet and not within the green or the red lines. So I think that, from a standpoint of trying to utilize that, and we've had other residential areas where we've asked the builder to flip the house 90 degrees to
Oh.
keep it out of the 100-foot.
Yeah, and I get that, but these buffer zones are not vital to this wetland. These are already disturbed areas, there's no vegetation there. You're not getting any filtration through roots, topsoil. And I just, I would think that, I'm not sure how long Mr. Ajami's had his business here, but I don't know, when's your bylaw come in effect? Was this a pre-existing, non-conforming lot?
I don't know the answer to
He does
that.
activity in there now.
I don't know the answer to that. The bylaw's been in effect for
All right, well, I
probably
will,
20 years.
in respect to this board, I'll ask Mr. Ajami again
Okay.
about relocating this, and we can continue this meeting and have these discussions next time.
Okay, I just think, it just seems to me that there's room there to move this building outside of the 100-foot. And one of the things that we say every time we have a meeting like this, and I understand you're saying that it doesn't really affect, it's not a vegetated wetland, so it's not a vegetated area, so there's not a lot of filtration going on, but there is some, because that stone, even though it's compacted, it still lets water through. But the fact that, that's unique to this, but what we always say is, what about the next guy? The guy who comes in and this area is full of trees and things, and he says, well, you let Stoneworks put their building in 40% or 50% of their building in the 100-foot, I have to be able to do that too. So it's precedent, and it doesn't really matter whether this is a vegetated area or not. It's still within the 100-foot of the cranberry bog, and that's what our jurisdiction is. And the fact that there is room on the lot to put this entire building somewhere else without encroaching on any of the 100-foot and certainly none of the 65-foot is something that I think is worthy of a second look.
I will
All right.
bring it up with my client, sure.
All right, so I will entertain a motion to continue this. How long do you think that'll take? Our next meeting is February,
Calendar.
I don't have a calendar, and of course, the
I'm bringing it up.
town hall Wi-Fi is off because it's
All right, so
Nighttime.
next meeting is February 2nd.
Wednesday, February 2nd, and the one after that would be the 16th.
16th.
Yeah, can you put me on for the second, please?
Okay, we'll do that. So I'll entertain a motion to continue this hearing till Wednesday, February 2nd.
Also move.
All right, second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to continue this hearing until Wednesday, February 2nd, and again, it'll probably be 7:15. It's continued. If we have new hearings, they'll go first, but you should plan on being here around 7:15.
All right.
All right? Thank you very much. That was the second, right, Dan?
Yep.
2222?
2222.
Okay. We're 5 minutes away from being able to do the other one.
2 minutes?
So, all right, since we have a couple of minutes, let's do these CFCs.
Okay.
This goes with this. All right. Request for COC 65 Crystal Lake Drive. This was this was a wall that was put up in front of the home. Excuse me, owned by the Pratt family. Brooke had gone and seen this, and everything that was part of our order conditions had been accomplished. So So she didn't feel there was any need for us to go look at it. So I will entertain a motion to approve the COC for 65 Crystal Lake Drive, DEP SE 126463.
Also move.
And second? All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the COC for 65 Crystal Lake Drive. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Approved 3-0. Okay, here's this. It's right inside the front cover there, Jim. All right, this is a certificate of compliance for 4 lots in Whistleberry Glen, which is the new construction off of Plymouth Street, where they're doing the 10 or 11 homes on the north side of Plymouth Street with the conservation easement. So again, once again, Brooke has gone and seen these and confirmed that everything that was in the order of conditions has been met. So we need to vote on this as well. I don't know where the signing sheet is. Just a second. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I will entertain a motion to approve the COC for the lots off Plymouth Street, DEP SE 126309 and 126-367.
Also move.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to approve the 4 lots off of Plymouth Street with the 2 DEP numbers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Approved 3-0. The 17 Wareham Street violations, that is the potential wood cutting in adjacent to the cranberry bog that we've been to on a number of occasions before. Brooke has spoken to the owner of the property. There were some photos sent by a neighbor showing heavy equipment in the bog area where we allowed them, and the owner said he would just move the equipment and take some pictures and come into our next meeting. So we don't have to do anything on that. There is, as you can tell, we have only 3 members tonight. We have 1 member who's out ill. We have the other, the conservation agent and unable to make it tonight, as was our recording secretary. But we are a group of 5. And we are currently only have 4 members. So the Conservation Commission has been in the limelight recently, and there have been a lot of comments about things that have happened in town that deals with conservation. So if there's anybody out there who would like to join us and learn about what the Conservation Commission does, and learn our bylaws and learn the state bylaws and sit up here, please go onto the Carver website, go to the Select Board page, and there is there you'll find all the information you need to get an application to join conservation, plus an instruction sheet on how to go about filling out the form and who it goes to. So once again, if there's anybody out in Carver who happens to be watching this and would like to join the Carver Conservation Commission, we do have an open seat at this time. And last but not least, before we get to that other hearing, beginning on March 9th, the agenda says March 12th, beginning on March 9th of 2022, conservation meetings, which are currently held on the first and third Wednesdays of the month, are going to move to the second and fourth Wednesdays for the of the month. So that will start on Tuesday, March 2nd, and then on Tuesday, March 9th, and then our following meeting will be on Tuesday, March 23rd, and then it'll be the second and fourth Wednesdays of months going on from there. That is done to accommodate a conflict that one of our other members has, and it's just moving it a week back. So that takes care of our discussions and businesses, and I think we can go now to the new hearing of 276 Meadow Street. All right, notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, MGL, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public hearing will be held at 7:45 p.m. on Wednesday, January 19th, 2022, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the request for determination of applicability filed by Barbara and Matthew Spaulding to determine whether the boundaries of the resource areas depicted on the reference plans are accurately delineated. The request is for determination as to whether the resource area associated with Bates Pond is accurately delineated in the field. The project is located on Meadow Street, Carver, Massachusetts, map 85, lot 100-1-R. All interested parties are invited to attend. Hi.
Hi, good evening. My name's Don Bracken. I'm a professional engineer with Bracken Engineering, representing Barbara and Matthew Spaulding on this project. We're here, as you mentioned, to get a determination on the wetland boundaries delineated on the plan that we submitted with the RDA. The site itself is just under 3 acres. There's an existing single-family dwelling on the site. Bates Pond abuts the site, or almost abuts the site, on the east side. The property has frontage on Meadow Street and also has some frontage on Bates Pond Road to the north. The wetland in question is a bordering vegetated wetland. It's a wooded swamp wetland described by Mass DEP. The wetland was delineated by Bob Gray, a certified wetland scientist of Sebastian Environmental. Included in the RDA is a report from Mr. Gray describing the wetlands and the methodology used to delineate the wetlands. Our firm survey located each wetland flag and certified on the plan the locations of the flags, along with meeting the other requirements, including structures, topo, boundaries, and so forth. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. The three of us and Brooke were out there today. We found all your flags, and they seem to delineate the wetlands accurately. We did have, however, see a couple of things on our site visit today that were a little bit problematic. First of all, there seems to be a lot of, for best use of lack of a better word, junk in the wetlands. There's some fencing. There looks like a tree stand that's been fallen down. There's a cable reel that's used as a table somewhere out in the further towards the north, I guess. And I think what was most disturbing to all of us was the fact that within the 65-foot buffer zone to the north of the house, there was indication of recent tree cutting in the wetlands no-touch zone. It seemed to be about 30 to 40 combination of spruce and white pines that had been cut in a zone where tree cutting is not allowed at all. So we're not here to address that tonight. The hearing is to address the RDA, and that's what we're going to do tonight. But Brooke is going to contact the homeowners to bring them in to talk about remediation for the illegal cutting of trees within that area. So that'll be for a different day. I just wanted to let you know, are the homeowners here? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Those trees were planted, they weren't there, it was a meadow there. And those trees were planted by my ex-husband, about 25 years ago. They were planted by him, so that's why we were cutting down, because it was a meadow, it was all grass there at that time. So, unbeknownst to us, we didn't know that we didn't cut down any natural tree there, they were all planted.
Well, they were all natural trees.
Well, if you looked at them, they're in rows. My ex-husband planted them and didn't know that that was illegal to cut them down.
All right, well, as I said, we're not here to talk about
Right.
that tonight.
But I just feel
All right,
that.
that, I don't know how much weight that holds. It's still, there's a root system to the trees that is now holding probably that soil in place. Whether they were planted or not, they were still trees within 65-foot. That permission needs to be, in a situation like that. We need to talk about it. And you're going to have to speak with Brooke, and Brooke is probably going to have you come back to one of our meetings to discuss this. But the fact that trees were planted as part of a nursery or something like that, or whether they grow there naturally, they're still living things within the no-touch zone. And we were disappointed to see that today. We didn't expect to see that, to be honest with you. And there were some other things. There was an old oil tank
Yeah, big oil tank standing there.
that was right along the wetlands delineation line. But anyway, that's for the next meeting. As far as the RDA is concerned, I think that I can't speak for the other members, but I think that the flagging looked absolutely correct,
Yes.
based on what we saw today. So as far as the RDA is concerned, we agree that that does delineate the wetlands. All right. So saying that, I will entertain a motion to close the hearing on 276 Meadow Street.
I'll second that.
No, I
I'll
need-
move it.
Okay.
And I'll second
All
that.
right, it's been moved and seconded to close the hearing at 276 Meadow Street. And we need, this always gets me confused. Is it a negative determination?
Yep.
It's a negative determination, which means that we agree with it. It's one of the few times no means yes. So.
We do not agree.
Yes. Right. So I will accept a motion to have a negative determination on the RDA request for applicability.
Also move.
And second.
All right, it's been moved and second to grant a negative determination on the RDA. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. It's approved 3-0.
Thank you
So,
very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. All right. So, okay. Continued hearings. Um, 20 Shoestring Road. Because it's continued, I don't have to,
Right.
read all this again.
Right.
So,
And I brought the plan, although you've seen it, but
yes.
I'll
All
put
right.
it over here. If you want me to go through it, I'll go through it again.
No, I don't think so. This is really just, we did get a DEP number, so.
That's right.
Really, this is just to approve it based on a DEP number. I will say that there was a gentleman in the parking lot, I didn't know that you were going to be here tonight, because I thought all we had to do was approve, reopen and approve it
Yeah,
with
right.
the DEP number. But there was a gentleman from Federal Cranberry in the parking lot tonight.
Okay.
And his question was revolving around the wells that you're going to be putting back in the cranberry bog, way in
Right.
the back.
Right.
And whether there would be any effect on federal cranberry companies' ability to use pesticides.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I think they have their own, there is a certain amount of state restrictions on how you apply pesticides, but we're staying well within our boundaries with our Zone 1. So as long as he's not in the Zone 1, I don't think there's an issue. I
Okay.
don't see how there could be. Yeah.
All right, and it's not our purview.
Right.
It's really Board of Health and
Right,
Planning.
right.
But I just wanted to let you know that
Thank you,
that question was asked tonight in the parking lot
Sure.
by one of your abutters,
Right,
who couldn't be here 2 weeks ago.
right.
So I don't know if you're going to hear about it again, but it's not something
Well,
that is our
I
concern.
believe the way the state law goes, if you're not in the Zone 1, which affects the well, I don't see how it can be a problem.
Okay. I'm just letting you know that there was somebody, and
Right.
I told him that he should speak to Kevin Forg,
Right.
the health agent here.
Right. Oh, in addition, there's already 3 wells on the site, which is right near his property, and it's been operating for many, many years under the scrutiny and testing of the DEP, and there hasn't been a problem, so I don't see why there would be
Okay.
a problem. Okay.
Yeah, I told him I didn't, that I had been not only at the hearing we had here 2 weeks ago, but I also was at your hearing with the planning board on another matter. I was there, but I was there and listened to your presentation to planning, and nothing was mentioned there either. So I thought that if there was any kind of an issue, that it would have been brought up already.
Right.
But I did tell him to check with Kevin Forg, so
Sure.
you may get something from Kevin. I just wanted to let you know.
That's fine.
All right, so, nothing's really changed, correct?
Nope,
Um,
that's the same plan.
Okay, and I think that we had decided, I think one of the order of conditions was that anything dealing with the water park would be a separate.
Right, we haven't presented that to you yet. as
Yeah,
yet,
right. Okay. So, I thought Brooke wrote down
There's a number now, right?
The rest of the number.
Hmm?
Do we have the rest of the number?
We should. She said we got it.
Yeah, you got it about a week ago.
Do you have it? Do you know what it is?
You know,
Yeah. 126 dash
0636.
063.
636, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, okay, so Tremont Street was the one before, it's 635, okay. All right, so I think that's basically it, other than I will now entertain a motion to close the hearing. Did we have to, yeah, we'll close the hearing, then we'll vote on the NOI, then we'll vote on the variance. Okay? So I'll entertain a motion.
I move we close the hearing.
All right, it's been, second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to close the hearing on 20 Shoestring Road, NOI DEP SC 126-636. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the NOI for the same.
I so move.
Second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the NOI for 20 Shoestring Road. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passed 3-0. And finally, I'll entertain a motion to approve the variance for the activities that were minor within the 65-foot and are basically along that road, correct?
right,
Next to
the
Jason
existing
Tabak.
road, right.
Yeah, so that was basically it. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll so move.
All right, second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to grant the variance on on DEP SC 126-636. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. We are good,
Okay.
3-0.
And when can we anticipate the order of conditions, or?
Brooke will,
Okay. I
Brooke
can
will
talk
get
to
in
her.
touch with
Yeah,
you.
I can talk to her. Okay, thank you very much.
She just couldn't be here tonight, and she didn't leave me anything with all
Okay.
that. This all happened pretty quickly, so And then we were locked out, and, you
Yeah, I
know, so
noticed.
it's a little disarray here.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you
Appreciate it.
all.
Right.
All right, 5 Johns Pond Road, the continued hearing has been continued once again.
Surprise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To the second,
Hmm?
to the next meeting, or,
I think so.
okay,
I think till February 2nd.
okay.
At the applicant's request.
Okay.
Now, there were minutes, but Jill sent me an email today that there was something
Wrong minutes.
missing. It is on the last page, if you see that there's a little area that's grayed out.
Yeah.
That says that the tradesman bays will follow the regulations that were supposed to be sent by someone, and those have not come in yet.
Okay.
So I think that what we should do is table the approval of these minutes to our next meeting and make sure we have everything that we do. So I'll entertain a motion to table the meeting, reading of the minutes.
I'll move that.
Second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to table the reading, or the approval of the January 5th meeting minutes until our next meeting on Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. And I believe that takes care of everything. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
You want?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. We're good. We're out. Thank you. Thank you, Area 58.
All right.